And we welcome you to the Big Train Baseball Network from Regency Furniture Stadium here in Waldorf, Maryland. The first broadcast on the road with TV here on the Big Train Baseball Network. My partner Eli Kleinman, I'm Adam Glover. Welcome you back. Another game for the Big Train on the road for the first and only time this year in the regular season here against the Southern Maryland Senators. And of course, if you remember back to the doubleheader we had on Sunday, the Big Train split that little matchup. They had the 10-1 win in game one. Then, of course, the offense, Eli, went silent in game two, losing 3-1.
Yeah, the offense just didn't come to life. You have to be happy if you allow 4 runs over 18 innings, but unfortunately the offense went a little bit dormant in game number 2.
Well, very tough as well. Had that long stretch of days off with all the rainouts, and of course we had the scheduled off day on Tuesday, so trying to get back into it. Many of those pitchers had not pitched in 11 to 2 weeks for some of the relievers, and we'll go ahead and take a look at the starting lineup today for the Big Train here on the road with, of course, Dixon Williams leading it off, his usual self back in that top spot of the lineup. Jeffrey Hurd gets the start in right field today, and he is hitting third. John Long also getting a start down lower in the lineup in that 8th spot. He is the designated hitter. And then Clay Wargo back behind the plate. He getting the start with Nick DeLisi being the catcher back on Sunday. And the Big Train will take their swings off of right-hander Wyatt Bunch. 4-pitch mix for him, a fastball around 87, 88 miles an hour with a couple of breaking balls in there as well, a slider and a curve as Dixon Williams gets set and ready to go. And the first pitch here from Waldorf, Maryland, down and in for a ball with first pitch at 7:11 p.m., getting underway a little bit later due to a delay. This one, a fastball that misses high and outside. Two balls and no strikes. Williams already in a good hitter's count, and he takes a big swing and comes up with nothing. 2-1.
Yeah, a guy who traveled down to Liberty the last couple days to compete in a showcase for the Cal Ripken League.
Another swing and a miss here. I believe the Cal Ripken League won both of those games as well down in Lynchburg. Very close were both of them. I think we won 2-1 in the first game.
I know the game ended early because of lightning in the area.
Do this one chop foul, and we'll do it again. Lucas Phelps and Jeffrey Hurd to follow. Williams, the starting second baseman for the Big Train. 2-2 on the corner, but a little outside, and the count goes full, 3-2. Big Train with a chance to get a leadoff base runner, but they're not going to. A swing and a foul tip, caught in the mitt, and the Senators will throw it around for out number 1. We'll go ahead and flash up the defense for the Senators. Team in their first year here in the Cal Ripken League. Playing at easily the nicest ballpark from any of the teams in this current league. This one to Lucas Phelps, a breaking ball that misses outside for a ball. Of course, this is where the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs of the Atlantic League Independent Baseball play as well. 1-0, and Phelps takes this one low. 2 balls and no strikes. The pitch. A fastball in there for a strike. 2-1.
And the Big Train looking to get that offense clicking, the best offense in the league, but it has not been firing on all cylinders.
Phelps sends this one in the air down the right field line. This one near the line will be caught for out number 2. And a good play in right field, showing off the range, Matt Ilgenfritz.
Yeah, really nice play down the line. It's not easy in that corner. Wall stretches out, and quickly the Big Train 2 up, 2 down.
Well, now here is Jeffrey Hurd, who had a 5 RBI performance in game 1 of that doubleheader on Sunday. And the first pitch to him will miss. 3 hits in total, proving why he is one of, if not the best hitter right now in the Cal Ripken League. Takes a fastball in there for a strike to even up the count.
Yeah, great job by Bunch. Get ahead of the big train hitters really helps.
This one hit to shallow left field, and it will be the shortstop, Sam Griffith, going out and making the grab, extending the arm over his head, and the big train are retired in order. Good stuff from Wyatt Bunch so far. We'll go to the bottom of the first with the Senators coming to bat for the first time in this game. Well, the big train have taken the field, and the starting pitcher is Ryan Erdelschweiger. But first, we'll go ahead and take a look at the starting lineup for the Southern Maryland Senators. Leading off, Jay Williams. Good base running and speed at the top of that lineup. Got some other really tough hitters in this lineup to go with it. Mikey Guy in that number 3 spot. Luke Gaffney in that 4 spot. Matt Ogenfritz hitting in that number 5 spot as well. And Erdelschweiger making start number 4 on the season. And the first pitch going to be lined out toward left field. It's going to get down in front of Jacob Orr. It's a base hit. And Jay Williams immediately on first base.
A team that got the big train last time these teams met up in Bethesda, and no better way to get one of the best teams in the league than get off to a good start, and that's what Southern Maryland looks to do here in the bottom of the first.
Well, take it back to that last start for Ryan Erdelschweiger, all the way back on June 16th. Didn't have his strongest stuff, as there's a fastball that misses outside to Brett Vondelin. 3 innings, an earned run, a hit, 2 walks, and a strikeout. Command wasn't great. Fell behind a lot. The velocity was down from his previous 2 starts as well. There's a fastball, a called strike at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike. Now, of course, was against the T-Bolts and a 4-3 final when Jack Guerrero walked it off in extra innings. Williams dancing off first, and the pitch from Erdelschweiger will miss.
Erdelschweiger, a guy at James Madison who was in the starting rotation for a lot of their season, so he has pitched a lot of baseball this past spring.
Williams back off first does not go, and there's the slider, the first time we get to see it from Erdelschweiger. It's a big swing and a miss. And now in command at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 3 pitch mix with a fastball. You just saw the slider there. Also has a changeup. Two-two. It goes back to the slider that misses. Like many college pitchers, doesn't have a large arsenal. Going with 3 pitches is something you typically see from a lot of guys, maybe down the line if you get drafted or play independent ball or something, try to develop a 4th pitch. 3-2, this one smoked down the line and foul, headed towards the Big Train, who are not sitting in the dugout, who are instead sitting in the stands.
Yeah, that's their bullpen down there. Hanging out. There's no spot for the bullpen to sit, so have some free seats.
Count it 3-2. Erdelschweiger delivers. This one hit high and down the line, and this one heading out of play off the top of the Legends Club.
Are you legendary enough to get in the Legends Club?
Well, we tried to, and unfortunately all the doors were locked, so I guess that's a no.
Yeah, Big Train don't get to be legendary enough. Here, on the road. At home, different story.
Yes. We'll have to we'll tell everyone at home about the stadium as the game goes on. One of the most impressive places, I should say, we've seen so far. 3-2, runner off and going. Throw down to second. This is ball 4 to Vondelin. So it does not matter. Williams would have been safe anyway. We'll go ahead and flash up the Big Train defense for you. With now 2 runners on, of course, Orr in left field. We saw him track down that one ball earlier that was hit out there by Williams. Hurd in right field. He's been playing a lot more corner outfield as of late. And Lucas Phelps gets the start at shortstop as well. Has not seen a lot of time there since that game on June 16th against the T-Bolts. Mikey Guy with 2 on and nobody out in the first pitch, a fastball that spiked in the dirt, but a good play by Clay Wargo to keep it in front of him.
And a chance here for Southern Maryland to put up a bit of a crooked number. Erdelschweiger looks for a ground ball here, try to get a double play. Even if a runner moves into third, you would much rather have that and get the 2 outs.
Infield is back at double play depth. Phelps at short and Williams at second. And this is a slider that misses. 2 balls and no strikes. This is a real good hitter's count for Guy. And he does swing at the 2-0 and fouls it off.
Yeah, got a chance to take a hearty cut and just came up not empty, but not what he wanted to do.
Guy is the leading hitter. 314 average coming in. This is a breaking ball, a called strike. Does not have a home run, but does have 7 RBIs, 4 extra base hits. And now what is his 15th game played of the season.
Yeah, this is a guy they want in this spot. That's why he's hitting third.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Williams dancing off second. Now Erdelschweiger delivers. This one fouled back into the net. We got a nice battle between Guy and Erdelschweiger.
Yeah, went with the slider. Guy just gets a piece looking for his pitch to hit. Trying to stay alive until he does.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Erdelschweiger out of the stretch. Delivers. This one called, third strike at the knees. Erdelschweiger gets the K, and it's a big out, number 1.
That's a really nice pitch. Paints the bottom of the zone, and not much Guy can do about it. I knew it immediately. Head straight back to the dugout. And now a ground ball can not just get you 2 outs, but it can get you out of the inning.
Here is Luke Gaffney, the starting first baseman. Same situation. 2 runners on, this time with 1 out. Big Train will look to turn 2. And it's a slider on the corner for a strike.
And that's what makes Erdelschweiger such a good pitcher. His command is excellent.
Gaffney not hitting great to start this season. The average at .216. A lot of guys in this Southern Maryland lineup not hitting the ball well statistically. This is a breaking ball in the dirt. It kicks off of Clay Wargo, and both runners will advance.
Yeah, spike slider. And all of a sudden, Southern Maryland with a golden opportunity.
So now 2 runners in scoring position after the wild pitch. It is a ball and a strike on Gaffney. And Ilgen Fritz waiting on deck if the inning were to continue. This one chopped out to second. Williams will opt to go to first. Big Train will get the out there, but Jay Williams comes in and scores, and the Senators out early. They take a 1-0 lead.
That's a productive out for both Gaffney and Erdelschweiger. You want the out if you're the Big Train, even as much as you don't want to run to score. Still early enough, we're getting the outs important, and for the Senators, productive to bring home a run.
So 2 outs, a runner at third, and Erdelschweiger will go back out of the windup instead of the stretch, and this is a called strike. Not worried right now about Vondelen over at third. But the Senators would love to get another run in with that runner just 90 feet away against this tough Big Train team. 0-1. This one hit in the air out to right field. Jeffrey Hurd. Plenty of room out there in right field. Only medium depth makes the catch. And the inning is over. So a runner is left stranded. A run does come in for Southern Maryland. We're through 1. The Senators up 1-0. Four, 5, and 6 due up for the Big Train. Carter Cunningham to lead it off. Jacob Orr and Jack Guerrero to follow the middle part of the order after the Big Train were retired in order in that first inning, with Williams striking out, Phelps flying out, and Hurd popping out. And the first one to Carter Cunningham, a fastball that misses inside, a ball and no strikes.
Yeah, it's a big bat in the lineup for the Big Train.
Takes that fastball outside, 2 balls and no strikes.
This is a guy you want to get something going with.
He's got great stats so far in this season. Swings 2-0 and misses a pitch that the right-hander took something off on. So now 2-1. Cunningham stepping back in and fouling a fastball off. Carter is hitting .323 on the season. Does have that 1 home run, which he hit down in Lorton, Virginia. That was his first game, if I'm not mistaken. You were on the call for that one.
Yeah, it was his first game, but bat has not cooled off since.
2-2. This one upstairs, 3 balls and 2 strikes. We've seen him play first base, and we've seen him play a little bit of center field as well, so some versatility as well defensively.
A guy ECU really relies on. Hits 2 in their order.
And the 3-2 pitch misses upstairs. Ball 4. It's the first base runner of the game for the Big Train. Cunningham trots down to first with a walk.
Decent speed from Cunningham. We've seen him steal a couple bases so far this season, and certainly a threat to run for another guy who is very productive during this past spring.
Here's Jacob Orr. And a throw over. Cunningham was barely off the bag. One thing about this team is Sal Colangelo has put a group together who can run and who can be very versatile defensively. This one to Orr misses outside. even some of the bigger guys with a lot of power in the bat, Jeffrey Hurd, Carter Cunningham, they can steal some bases.
Yeah, it's a team that gets good jumps and has good speed.
1-0. This one on the corner for a strike, going to the inside corner to Orr, who is one of the more recent additions for the Big Train, with many of those guys earlier in the season, like Chris Akopian and Casey Bishop, no longer a part of the team. That's a breaking ball that loses some command on, misses upstairs.
Yeah, or a guy who can slot into the infield or the outfield. Became a super utility guy at Maryland this past spring because of some injuries and really made it so he couldn't be taken out of the lineup.
This one will miss as well. Now 3-1 on Orr, who in 10 games, not including this one, 10 RBIs, not to mention 8 walks as well. 3-1, the Big Train looking for back-to-back walks. This one hit out to right field on a line. It's going to stay up and be caught. Cunningham will go back to first, and it's out number 1. Ilgen Fritz twice has now made a play out in right field through the first 2 innings.
Yeah, just not enough on it. The ball not carrying all that well. This ballpark, the wind pretty much still at the moment. The flag hanging right by the flagpole out in right center field.
So here's Jack Guerrero. And he smokes this one down the right field line. That's a fair ball. Guerrero is going to be held to a single, but Cunningham will be able to go to third, and the Big Train have runners at the corners. First hit of the game for Bethesda.
That's a really nice swing of the bat. Just a line drive down the right field line. Turns on the fastball, and good job by Ilgen Fritz to cut it off, but that's what Sal Colangelo expects from Guerrero, and has hit some balls hard this season. Does it again right there.
The offense, again, in that second game of the doubleheader, could get nothing going, but Guerrero did have 2 hits in that game, and now Zeb Ruddle, with runners at the corners, takes a breaking ball upstairs.
And Guerrero, a guy who has found his swing, didn't play a lot at UNC Wilmington this past spring, but you certainly see the potential in how he could slot into that lineup come 2024.
Big hole on the right side for Ruddle, and he takes this one on the outside corner for a strike. Ruddle, of course, has been with the team since the very beginning of the season, 14 games played. Unfortunately, though, the average starting to dip down and the strikeouts starting to rise a bit for him. This one a fastball too far outside, but the defense has still been there. Like a lot of other Big Train, can run as well. So continues to get time in the lineup. Bethesda would want at least 1 run to try to tie it up. Delayed steal. It's a called strike. Guerrero will get in there safely at second.
That's a smart job by Holiday to hold on to that baseball. The Big Train have taken advantage of catchers who throw down with runners at the corners and just holds on to the baseball there, not allowing Carter Cunningham to try and come home from third.
2 balls and 2 strikes. The infield back playing for the out. So if Ruddle can get something on the ground, just like the Senators did in the bottom of the first, they could pick up an RBI with a ground out.
Yeah, it's too early to bring the infield in the second, even if it allows a run to score.
2-2. Breaking ball called third strike. Ruddle knew it immediately and immediately goes back to the dugout.
It's a fantastic pitch from Bunch. Just paints that curveball on the outside corner and completely freezes Ruddle.
Here's John Long. 2 outs and 2 on, both in scoring position. And Long takes the first one in there for a strike.
And now you need a base hit here to score a run, or wild pitch always brings the possibility.
0-1. Fastball too far outside to even up the count. This part of the order, Ruddle, Long, and Clay Wargo, the number 9 hitter. 3 guys who offensively have not played as well lately. Guys like Connor Rasmussen, Jason Schiavone, Dean Twigo out of the lineup in this game. This one misses outside as well. DeLisi also started that second game, so Wargo gets the start here, and this one on the corner to John Long. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So the first one on the inside part of the plate, the last 3 on the outside part of the plate. Now 2-2. The pitch to Long. There's the breaking ball. Tried the same thing he did to Zeb Ruddle. This one misses too high, and the count is full. First base is open, and Clay Wargo on deck. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch. Fastball called, third strike. John Long didn't agree. And the inning ends as the right-hander Wyatt Punch gets out of it with a couple of strikeouts of Ruddle and Long both looking. The big train strand 2. So we'll go to the bottom of the second. The Senators still up 1-0. Six, 7, and 8 due up here for the Senators with Ty Stetko, the third baseman, leading it off. James Holliday, the catcher, and Cole McGonigal to follow in this inning. The big train unable to get on the board with a couple of runners in scoring position. Ryan Erdelschweiger back out to the mound, pitching out of the windup. The first one missing inside. This one on the corner, a called strike.
That's where you want that fastball from Erdelschweiger, right there. That is a tough spot to hit.
This one misses down low.
Talking about Erdelschweiger, his coach, James Madison, said what makes him so good is you can't tell what pitch he's throwing. His windup for both the fastball and the slider look the same.
On the corner, a called strike. So the count at 2-2. Erdelschweiger with 1 strikeout in that first inning got Mikey Guy down looking. This one, a fastball high and outside. The count goes full 3-2. And Erdelschweiger trying to avoid a leadoff base runner here in the second.
Yeah, and reading pitches is such a big thing in baseball. And, you know, Erdelschweiger, the stuff is not necessarily the hardest thrower, but
this one, another fastball, misses outside. Erdelschweiger says something to himself, and it's a leadoff walk.
But if you can deceive hitters, then the stuff doesn't have to be a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. I know he doesn't throw slow by any means, just sits right under 90 miles an hour, but it's the fact that his fastball has good spin rate, and he's so good at deceiving hitters with that slider.
James Holliday. Wargo throws down to first. The runner getting back in time. Stetko diving back in. He's got to be ready with Clay Wargo behind the plate. Not afraid to throw down to first. Holliday searching for his first hit of the year. 0 for 11. This one in the dirt. Wargo picks it up. The throw down to second, not going to be in time. And another runner in scoring position just like that for Southern Maryland.
Erdelschweiger needs to battle. Good situation for the Senators again. But a pitcher with good composure on the mound.
2-0. Bunt showed, pull back, and this is a called strike. With high and outside. Fooling Holliday into pulling the bat back, thinking that one. Holliday trying to move the runner to third. Phelps, or rather Williams, getting near the runner at second. Line drive. This one gets past Lucas Phelps, goes into center field. Now Ruddle bobbles it. The runner will be held at third, and it's runners at the corners on the single.
Yeah, nice piece of hitting, and Phelps just can't get there. The ball skips past him and into center. If he's able to make that catch about a half step short of it, it's a double play with the runner off the bag at second, but unable to do so. And all of a sudden, Southern Maryland in an excellent opportunity for a second straight inning.
And immediately, as I said it, Holliday, his first hit of the year after being 0 for 11, now 1 for 12. Runners at the corners, nobody out, Cole McGonigal. First one from Erdelschweiger, a fastball that misses high and outside.
And really tricky situation again. A ground ball is what you're looking for if you're Erdelschweiger. Try and turn two.
This one check swing did not go around. 2 balls and no strikes. Time is called. Erdelschweiger behind again.
It's a guy who knows the big moments. Pitched on Fridays for James Madison for most of the season. I mean, that's the night where most teams throw their ace. Just as a freshman, he was facing the best pitchers on every team he played.
2-0. And a swing and a miss here. McGonigal can't keep up with that pitch.
That's a lot of trust to put in a freshman. But Erdelschweiger has shown that he is more than up to the challenge.
2-1. And another swing and a miss here. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And now it becomes a potential strikeout situation as well. Go back to the fastball.
Erdelschweiger looking for strikeout number 2. And he'll get it. Like you said, Eli, back to the fastball. Does change the location of it. This one going outside on the corner. But it's a big out number 1, and now a ground ball. Could be a double play to end the inning.
Hey, got the ground ball last time. The runner just unfortunately moved over to second. Gets that here, and he gets out of this inning with no damage allowed.
Sam Griffith, the shortstop, going with the no batting glove look. Up with runners at the corners, and he takes an Erdelschweiger fastball upstairs.
A Michigan kid goes to Oakland from the state.
1-0 pitch. This one takes something off, a called strike.
Different state, but similar region in the country. In Iowa, Connor Gillespie, former Major League player, didn't wear batting gloves, and he said he couldn't because if he did, all his friends from home would make fun of him.
Former White Sox and Giant had the walk-off hit for them in the division series against the Cubs in 2016. This one, a fastball, a called strike.
Most known for ruining the wild card game for the Mets in 2016 at the 3-run home run off of Uris Familia. After Noah Syndergaard went think 8 scoreless.
Another Madison Bumgarner gem. This one, slider that misses in the dirt. The backhand by Wargo able to keep it in front of him.
It's actually the youngest position player called up by the Giants back in 2009 till Luis Matos just got called up and is a younger player.
2-2 to Griffith. This one hit in the air out to center. Ruddle under it, makes the grab. Runner's going to tag. This will be cut off. It's a sacrifice fly and an RBI. Another productive plate appearance for a Senator hitter, and it's now a 2-0 game.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're trying to do if you're Griffith. Hit it in the air, get it deep enough to bring home the run, and in a ballpark as big as this one, you have plenty of room out there, and Ruddle with a good arm, but just not going to be able to make a play like that.
Well, at first I thought Ruddle might have a chance at it, hit right towards him, but then he started having to move to right center field, and I knew at that point, run likely to come in and score. We're back to the top of the order with Jay Williams. This one in there for a strike. And you're kind of getting the same story for Ryan Erdelsweiger tonight, though. You know, has had some really good stuff, but oftentimes falls behind hitters, has walked 2 already, has given up a couple of earned runs. There's a swing and a miss here, now 0-2. Think back to that June 10th game, even though didn't allow a run, 4 innings, struck out 6. There are the strikeouts, but did walk 2 as well during that game.
Yeah, has walked multiple guys in every start so far.
This one, an 0-2 breaking ball fouled back into the net.
But has done a really nice job to keep the big train competitive in ball games. And even though he's allowed the 2 runs, you have to say he's been keeping them in this game so far because the lead could be a whole lot bigger.
Fastball high and outside, trying to go back to that pitch which he got Williams to swing and a miss on the second pitch of this at-bat. Ball and 2 strikes. This one too far outside in the opposite batter's box. Now Erdelsweiger was ahead 0-2, just can't find that put-away pitch. Two. Again, fastball misses high. Throw back to first from Wargo. The runner back in time. Second time now we've seen Clay Wargo throw down to first.
Yeah, he likes to be aggressive, and you have to respect it. Has a cannon of an arm.
Three-two. Erdelsweiger steps off and motions to Wargo. Hey, let's do it again. Got to see the sign again. Runner will be off and going with 2 outs and a full count. 3-2. Swing and a miss. Erdelsweiger comes back with a fastball and gets Williams swinging. Another run does come in. A runner is left stranded. Very similar to that first inning as Erdelsweiger and the big trainer threw 2 here at Regency Furniture Stadium. It's a 2-0 lead for Southern Maryland. Well, the big train will have 9, 1, and 2 due up here in the third, trying to get something going offensively. That last inning, of course, had a couple of runners in scoring position, but could not bring either of them in. Wargo will get his first at-bat of the game against Wyatt Bunch, and he takes this one in there for a strike. For Bunch, just the second time he's pitched this year, threw against the Aces on June 19th. Ended up taking the loss in that game, though, as there's a breaking ball down and in. 3 innings of 1-run ball, though, 2 hits, a walk, and 2 strikeouts.
Yeah, pitched 15 1/3 as well at Longwood this past spring.
This one outside. I tell you what, even though he got the loss, 3 innings of 1-run ball against a tough Alexandria team, he'll take that no matter what coach you are, what team you're a part of. If you can get a pitcher to do that, you're going to be thrilled.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get something similar today, you absolutely take that from a guy who just headed into his junior year, but really his redshirt sophomore season with the Lancers.
2-2, this one on the inside corner. Wargo, no argument there. He goes down looking, and it's now 3 consecutive strikeouts where the big train have gone down looking.
Yeah, it's a really nice pitch from Bunch. Just paint that fastball in the inside corner, and the big train have had some trouble with him so far.
Now here's Dixon Williams, a strikeout victim in his first AB. First pitch, a breaking ball. This one will miss, a ball and no strikes. Up the middle and into center field. Dixon Williams reaching the bat out and driving a pitch back where it came from. And the big train will now have the tying run at the plate. Just their second hit of the game.
Yeah, he's been so productive so far for the big train. Just a really nice piece of hitting. An on-base machine. And then once he gets on base, it causes so much chaos. A guy expected to contribute in big ways for a really good ECU team in the next couple of years.
Here's Lucas Phelps, and a throw over with the runner back in time. Runner goes. This one, a called strike. The throw down to second. Gonna be not in time. The ball in and out of the glove. And Dixon Williams looked like he was gonna be thrown out.
Yeah, just couldn't hold on to the baseball, and it was a great throw from Holiday, but Dixon Williams makes it challenging with how much speed he has.
Well, now runner in scoring position, Lucas Phelps with a base hit with Dixon Williams' speed. Could get the big train on the board. This one well inside to even up the count.
Yeah, Williams came to the big train, took that leadoff spot, and just never gave it back. Just how productive he's been, and a run-scoring machine, an RBI producing machine.
Wyatt Bunch faked the pickoff, swung the leg around, but never threw it. Now back on the mound, pitching out of the stretch. And delivers. And another one too far inside to Phelps, who has to jump out of the way again. Two and one the count, 1 out. Make that 3 in a row of Phelps having to jump out of the way. Now 3 and 1 the count.
Yeah, good hitters count. For a guy trying to drive in a run with plenty of bats behind him.
3-1, Phelps yanks this one foul. Headed towards a big group of Senator players sitting down outside the dugout.
Always got to keep your head on a swivel.
Count full on Phelps.
Bunch could go to the curveball with a base open.
We've seen him do it twice already in this game. 6 with a fastball. Phelps hits this one in the air, out to left. Warning track wall. This one coming off the wall. Williams had to hold up, but this ball kicks well off the wall. Dixon Williams will come around and score standing up. It's an RBI double for Lucas Phelps.
Yeah, that ball just had great carry to left field, and it just was not played well off the wall. Left fielder thought he had a chance to make the catch, but by going all the way back to the wall, as soon as that ball caroms off of it, it allows Williams to score all the way from second.
Hit off the Spectra Credit Union. Little sign off that giant left field wall. A ball that you said had great carry. Phelps getting into second easily, and now Hurd pops this one up in the infield. And the catch will be made over there at first base. Luke Gaffney, no infield fly was called on that one. Oh, it was? Over at first? No, it wasn't.
No runner at first.
No runner. Oh, that's right. There is no runner at first. I forgot. So 2 outs, Carter Cunningham. And Jeffrey Hurd, once again, pops out. He's done that now twice today. And he did it 3 times in the second game against Gaithersburg on Sunday. Just on a breaking ball that misses.
Yeah, just getting under the baseball. We've seen that from him, but he's usually able to get out of any slumps pretty quickly. And then you'll see a flurry of hard-hit baseballs for the league's home run leader.
1-0, this one grounded down the first base line. That is a foul ball. Cunningham wanted extra bases. It was going to be extra bases, but just a little foul.
Yeah, the umpire had to think about it. He was ready to call it a fair ball and then thought better of it. I think it's hard to tell from this angle, but from where that ball went past the first baseman, Gaffney, you have to think it was probably just foul.
Right.
Because he dove for that baseball on the grass past the foul line down the first base side. But certainly close. Be careful to Carter Cunningham.
So with that foul ball, the count at 1-1. This one gets away to the backstop. It's a wild pitch, and Phelps will go to third. And now there's an argument as to whether or not that was fouled off by Carter Cunningham. He checked his swing, and the umpires will converge right in front of the pitcher's mound.
And they did call it a foul ball.
So it'll be 1-2 on Cunningham.
And if that's the case, Phelps has to go back to second.
Yes, and trying to direct, and there's still confusion. And Phelps will get back to second. Evan Morris, the third base coach, talking it over with the umpire. Runner still in scoring position, though. Just 90 feet further away.
Yeah, base hit likely scores Phelps.
Dancing fakes the go. Had a chance likely to make it. He was already halfway there, and that ball was not caught cleanly.
Yeah, base hit to the outfield with Phelps' speed. Likely a run for the big train unless it's hit too hard.
2-2 the count. The pitch. This one on the ground towards the middle. It sneaks through and gets into center field for a base hit. Phelps in standing up. And we have a tie ball game here in Waldorf. Cunningham comes through.
And there's no reason to steal third if you're Lucas Phelps in that situation, because a base hit's going to score you. In this ballpark, it probably scores almost everybody with how big this field is, but Lucas Phelps, one of the faster guys on the big train. Carter Cunningham comes through again.
Inning continues. Jacob Orr, The first one bouncing in the dirt. Throw over. This one also in the dirt. Backhanded, though, by Holiday. 2 balls and no strikes. That left field wall is only 310 feet, but it's a high wall, so very hard to hit one out, and Jacob Orr hit by the pitch.
And a meeting on the mound. Looks like Senators want to chat with Bunch, who has had a tough inning. Still not out of it.
3 hits in the inning, and now a hit by pitch. Does have 2 outs. And 2 runs came in, Phelps and Cunningham with RBIs. With 2 runners in scoring position. Wanting to talk it over with him, try to limit the damage here.
Yeah, a guy who didn't start for Longwood outside of just once this past spring. And trying to give them at least 3 innings. They would love more, but really depends if he can get out of this inning quickly.
So Jack Guerrero now. 2 outs, 2 on. Ripped a single into right field in his last at-bat. Looking to do it again, trying to give the big train the lead, and he takes the first one upstairs for a ball. Want to know. Guerrero out to left field. This one's going to stay up and be caught, and the inning will end. The big train strand 2, but score 2. RBIs from Phelps and Cunningham. We got a new ball game. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd. We're all locked in a 2-2 tie. Well, Ryan Erdelschweiger back out to the mound with the big train giving him a little bit of run support. A couple of runs in the inning, 3 hits, 4 base runners in total. 2, 3, and 4 due up. Vondelin takes this one, a slider. The check swing does not go around. Very close pitch either way. One-0. This one, a called strike.
And 2 runs through 2 innings for Erdelschweiger. Not his best start, but you see how big it was for him to limit the damage.
This is a big train offense that can wake up at any point in time. Of course, last game struggled, but at the end, got base runners, got a run in the 9th, just unfortunately ran out of outs.
The team leads the league in runs per game.
This one in there for a strike. 2-2. Arnold Schweiger looking for a strikeout. This one misses. Wargo tried to frame it, but the count goes full. The Senators are looking for 3 straight innings with a leadoff base runner.
Yeah, you really want to find a way to get this out.
3-2, chop foul to the Senators' dugout.
Let the offense that you mentioned is always a sleeping giant get back to work quickly.
3-2. Swing and a miss. Takes something off, goes with the breaking ball, gets the strikeout, and it's out number 1. Erdelschweiger, 4 Ks now, and back-to-back going back to last inning.
And you have to commend his composure. Even when his best stuff might not be there, he just is so good at bearing down on the mound. Something his college teammate Jason Schiavone mentions.
Guy chops this one out to short. Phelps charging in. Fields throws to first in time. And a quick out, number 2.
Ability, show no emotion, and keep going is huge, is what Schiavone said about his college teammate in the spring. Now they're teammates in the summer as well, and it proves true. Give up 2 early runs, but really able to settle down and just get outs. So big with how many games the Big Train have coming up, a pair of doubleheaders each of the next 2 days. You really want to limit the amount of innings.
This one chopped out to Phelps, who goes into shallow center field, but bobbles it, and the runner will reach. So 2 out base runner, nearly a 3 up, 3 down inning. Phelps well behind the second base bag and a shallow center. What, in my opinion, should likely be ruled a base hit, with Phelps having to go out to shallow center to even field that ball, and that's swung on and missed. Matt Ilgen Fritz. Fastball in there for a strike. Now 0-2. Schweiger looking to get out of it. 0-2. And a slider too far outside.
They rule it an error.
They ruled it an error. Interesting.
Might have been a base hit, but I think that bobble is really what does it.
1-2. Swing and a miss. Erdelschweiger. Back-to-back sliders. The first one, Ilgen Fritz laid off it. This one, he swings at and comes up with nothing. So Erdelschweiger's best inning so far doesn't allow a run. We're a third of the way through this game. It's a 2-2 tie. The Big Train will have the bottom half of the order due up. Part of the order that struck out in each one of their last at-bats. All three of them went down looking. Ruddle, Long, and Wargo due up. And the first pitch on the corner for a strike. Bunch back out to the mound. 3 innings of 2-run ball so far in this game. 1-0. And it's a curveball. Misses too low.
Yeah, you would love Bunch to settle down and try and work through this inning, but they do have a right-hander warming in the bullpen if necessary.
This one misses as well.
And you wonder how long the leash is if you put a guy like Ruddle with his speed on base.
Especially now that the Big Train have tied this game up. The pitch. This one in there for a strike. A little bit of action in the bullpen. A right-hander warming up. This one swung on and missed. Ruddle goes down for the second time. This one's swinging now. 22 strikeouts on the year for him, and it's out number 1.
And just comes up empty and not too happy. Big Train with a ton of speed in this part of the lineup with Long and Ruddle.
Well, Long drops a bunt. This one goes foul. Sal Colangelo and John Long trying to take advantage of his speed. This one foul tipped into the mitt and Long behind. Now 0-2. The pitch. Breaking ball, 3 pitches. Long goes down looking, and it's back-to-back strikeouts.
Yeah, and a lot of credit to Bunch settling down. 2 quick outs. Big at-bat here to try and get Wargo, however, because if the lineup flips, all of a sudden it's Dixon Williams back to the plate, and that's where a lot of trouble comes.
This one inside. Bunch worked Wargo a lot on that inner part of the plate, and he starts him already with a fastball in. This one just missed. Now the 1-0 goes back to that same part, but this one even further inside. Now 2 balls and no strikes. Good hitters count, 2-0. Swings and chops this one high to short. The throw to first going to be in time. Griffith waiting on it and making the play, and the inning is over. That part of the order now 0 for 6 with 5 strikeouts. The Big Train can't do anything on offense. To the bottom of the 4th, a 2-2 tie from Waldorf, Maryland. Erdelschweiger back out to the mound, had his best inning so far in the 3rd, and will look to replicate it here. Ty Stetko to lead it off, a part of the order that led off the 2nd inning, 6, 7, and 8. Of course, they scored a run in that inning off of Erdelschweiger, so a bit of a do-over here for Ryan. We'll start with a first pitch fastball that misses low. 1-0. This one hit out to left field, or coming in, or with a good catch on a line drive for out number 1, turning the glove last second.
Yeah, the Big Train bullpen loves it. Here's the question, though. Do they love it because they're rooting for their team? And this is obviously sarcastic, just
Yes.
for those that don't. Or do they love it because the longer Ryan Ertelsweiger goes, the less of them actually have to
That's
go in
true.
the game?
That's more than just the whole bullpen, though. That's the entire pitching staff that's just down there right now. This is a breaking ball in there for a strike to James Holliday. Just want a slider outside. A ball and a strike. They're making more noise than any of the fans here. It's nice to see.
Yeah, they're a passionate group.
This one bounced in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike.
Here's the question, however. When they head to Newport, in Newport, it's a hockey-style dugout.
Really? This one yanked foul.
So when they're standing next to the goals dugout, will they be as loud?
I don't know. Probably.
We'll have to see.
They're a loud group, let me tell you. This one right back into the net.
Now, both dugouts in Newport down the first base line. And both bullpens, well, they share a bullpen actually down the third base line.
Yeah, we're gonna get a little creative with that one. That'll be interesting when we have to go for, I think that's our July 4th game.
Yes, it is.
This one in the dirt. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
With fireworks over the Newport Harbor, right behind the stadium. Not sure they'll be able to see it if it's during the game, because it is quite literally right behind home plate in the stands. They'll hear it.
3-2. Fastball upstairs, ball 4. Ertelsweiger loses Holliday, and he's on for the second time. Now Cole McGonigal.
But Newport, a beautiful town right on the water, right on the harbor.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how this team competes with those teams up in the New England Collegiate Baseball League. Cole McGonigal is a strikeout victim in his first at-bat. Fouls the first one off.
Now the Gulls off to the best start in that league. 14-3, their record.
How is Martha's Vineyard? I knew a little bit ago they were kind of 500, but that was
6-10.
6-10. They have
Bottom of the coast.
Yes, they have fallen off record-wise. This one outside. So it evens up the count at 1-1.
Certainly some work to do for the Sharks, but they have a whole new coaching staff.
Really?
This season. Yes.
This one fouled off, and Ertelsweiger back on a 2-strike count. So 1-2. Ertelsweiger with a runner off and going. This one misses. The throw down on a line. In time, a great throw from Clay Wargo.
That's the Sheriff. Can't speed on Clay Wargo.
We saw him throw down to first a couple of times, and finally an opportunity to show off the arm to second. 2 balls and 2 strikes on McGonigal. The pitch in the dirt, and the count's full. And Ertelsweiger, his last few pitches bouncing in the dirt. Great command on it. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Nobody on. The pitch. This one fouled off. Count remains full. Erdelsweiger back out of the windup. The caught stealing. This one low for a ball. Close pitch, but given to McGonigal, who will draw the walk. Back-to-back walks, but only McGonigal on base.
It looks like there's some action starting to move in that Big Train bullpen.
Yeah, Coach Lopez, the pitching coach, walking now with Nick DeLisi. This one hit in the air out to right field. Jeffrey Hurd backing up. He'll make the catch, and the inning ends. Well, it's the second straight inning. At least one run reaches, but Erdelsweiger able to work through it. We'll go to the fifth, the 2-2 tie from Regency Furniture Stadium. Dixon Williams to lead it off here for the Big Train. A 1 for 2 days so far, and he takes the first one in the dirt for a ball. Williams fouls this one off.
You love when this guy can lead off an inning because of how much damage he can cause.
1-1 on the corner, but outside, 2-1. This one misses as well. 3 balls and a strike. Williams trying to reach. He takes a big swing at a 3-1 pitch. And now the count full. This one misses outside, ball 4. And Dixon Williams will reach to start the 5th.
And this is where it causes you problems. Have to be really careful with how good he's been.
And Lucas Phelps, who doubled off the big wall in left field. And late on a fastball. Counts 0-1. This one a called strike, and now Phelps immediately in a 2-strike count. Got to try to shorten the swing, choke up on the bat, and try to just put this ball in play. And now a ball from the Southern Maryland bullpen thrown over the bullpen catcher's head. And now Phelps steps back in after the ball is retrieved. 0-2 the count. This one outside. Williams takes off and runs. The throw not going to be in time. Great job by Dixon Williams on a delayed steal to read that one with that ball well outside.
Yeah, really good jump and makes it quite easy for himself and a great opportunity for the Big Train to take the lead.
Williams dancing off second. 1-2. So on a breaking ball that Phelps able to just stay alive with right off the bat. The count remains at 1-2. This one is fouled off, and we'll do it again at 1-2.
Oh, what a grab.
Yeah, that was off the net, barehanded play.
One of the Senators down the third base line.
1-2 the count. Phelps drives it down the line. That's a fair ball. Lucas Phelps is going to pick up another RBI. He's looking at his second double of the game, and he's in standing up, and the Big Trainer on top. A little bit of deja vu from the third inning. Lucas Phelps a double into left field. That plates Dixon Williams.
Yeah, great piece of hitting, and he has found that swing as of late. One of the hottest bats, and it's no surprise that he's hitting in the 2-hole tonight playing shortstop because of that.
And now here's Jeffrey Hurd, who's popped out in 5 of his last 6 at-bats. And it's a breaking ball to Hurd on the outside corner, a called strike. 0-1. Hurd trying to plate another run. Just want a breaking ball missed outside. Another delayed steal to throw down to third. Not in time. A good pick down there at third base, though. Keeping it in front of him. Ty Stetko. You can hear the head coach for the Senators saying, we got to wake up, and Jeffrey Hurd's going to pick up an RBI. A base hit into center field. Phelps comes in standing up, the Big Train. Singles and doubles, that's been the name of the game tonight, and they get another run.
Now, 7th hit, 4th run across, and they've taken control, and that looks like it's the end of the day for the Senators' right-hander.
Just not the start that Wyatt Bunch was hoping for. The Big Train, again, through those first 2 innings, couldn't do much, but over the last 3, it's completely changed things around. A right-hander coming in. We'll throw it to break, come back, and talk about the new pitchers. You're watching Big Train Baseball on the Big Train Baseball Network. Well, a new pitcher taking over here for the Senators. Brendan Wall, the right-hander. Fastball in the low 90s. The spin rate over 2,300. Also has a curveball, a changeup, 3-pitch mix, and a tough situation here. Only a runner at first, but nobody out. And the Big Train, all of a sudden, the bats are alive in this inning. Oh, 1, this one way outside. Holiday able to keep it in front of him.
Not the first time Wall has faced the Big Train. Gave up 6 earned runs in the 7-0 loss.
This one out towards second, and a leaping catch made, robbing Cunningham of a base hit. Vondelin timing it perfectly and making the grab. So now it's Jacob Orr.
It's just the first game out of the bullpen for Wall. So far this summer, previously had made 3 starts, including that 1 1/3 against the Big Train where he allowed 6.
Throw over with Jeffrey Hurd diving back in time. Orr was hit by a pitch in his last plate appearance. Runner goes. This one hit in the air out toward right field. Hurd's going to have to go back. He doesn't see it. Got a chance to double off Hurd. The throw back in is not in time. And Jeffrey Hurd barely back in with a head-first slide.
Yeah, just unable to find where the baseball was off the bat. And took him almost a second too long, but just in the nick of time.
Now it's Jack Guerrero. For 2, he flew out to left field, got jammed on an inside fastball, and this time takes a first pitch fastball outside. Want to know the pitch. Guerrero takes it in there for a strike, tried to jump out of the way of it, but does not fool the home plate umpire. One. This one upstairs. 2 balls and a strike.
That fastball a little erratic from Wall, and already another right-hander throwing for the Senators.
Runner goes. Guerrero takes this one inside. The throw down goes into center field. Hurd gets up, starts to go to third, but will get back to second. So it's 3-1, and now another runner out there in scoring position. If Guerrero can get another base hit here, could pick up the 5th run of the game. Guerrero swings, and it's a high pop-up. Down the line, long run, catch made in right field. Ilgenfritz with the grab in foul territory, and the inning ends. But the Big Train, plate 2, RBIs for Phelps and Hurd. 2 hits in the inning. Just 1 runner left stranded. To the bottom of the 5th, the Big Train with their first lead of the game. New pitcher for the Big Train will be right-hander Kevin Scully, who takes over in the 5th. Little striker with 4 innings of 2-run ball, able to settle down after those first 2 innings and pitch a couple of shutout innings of work. His day is done, though, and again, you're looking at Kevin Scully for his 3rd appearance of the year. First time out against the Crop Dusters on the 9th, up and only. Got roughed up for 3 earned runs in an inning, but 2 shutout innings of work against the T-Bolts on the 16th, the day Guerrero walked it off. This one is fouled off.
And if you can get a couple innings from Scully and toss it to the back end of your bullpen, that's the goal for the Big Train.
This is Caden Carl, who pinch hit for Jay Williams. This one will miss.
The Senators, a team that love their mid-game substitutions.
Yes.
They play about half a game for one guy, half a game for the other.
Breaking ball from Scully in there for a strike, and the count's 1-2. Scully out of the stretch, delivers. Fastball up and in. And 2 balls and 2 strikes.
See him probably go back to that curveball here. Really good break on that pitch.
Just like you said, back to the breaking ball, a big swing and a miss. Carl, in his first at-bat of the game, goes down swinging, and it's the first out here in the 5th.
Yeah, when that curveball's working, it is not fun to face Scully. That ball just drops right off the table, and tough pitch to hit.
Well, here's Brett Vondelin. 0 for 1 with a walk. Breaking ball from Scully in there for a strike. Oh, and 1 the count. Delivers on the ground. Out to short. Phelps charging in. Fields throws to first on a line. And it's out number 2.
Seen Phelps look a lot more comfortable at second and short rather than third. And the hitting has actually improved as well when he's been over at those 2 positions.
2 outs in the inning. Kevin Scully looking good. A guy coming out of high school with a fastball in the low 90s. And 2 breaking balls as well to go with it, including a slider that can reach as high as 81 miles an hour. James Madison product. That's why he's there. He's got some real talented stuff. This one up and in.
Yeah, saw some action this past season. 7 games, made a couple starts during the midweek.
Trying to retire Mikey Guy, looking for a 3-up, 3-down inning, and Guy rips a breaking ball foul.
Guy faced some good programs in Florida State and Maryland. Best outing came against Cornell, 3 scoreless innings. Allowed just 1 hit, a couple walks.
1-1. And after he was a little early on a breaking ball, late on a fastball, and Scully in a 1-2 count. For a 3-up, 3-down inning, and the fastball high and outside. Two and 2 the count. See if he goes back to the breaking ball after a couple of fastballs. He does, and there it is. Scully with a 3-up, 3-down inning, gets 2 strikeouts, and off to a fantastic start in relief. So we're through 5 here from Waldorf, Maryland, the Big Train, up 4-2. Bottom half of the order due up here for the big train as we've reached the 6th inning, a game moving along nicely since those first couple of innings. And Zeb Ruddle will start it off. He's struck out looking and struck out swinging tonight. And the first pitch is a fastball that misses too far outside. Looks like Ward is taking over defensively in the field out at second base. And McKinley, also a defensive change, getting into the game out in left field. The dirt now 3 balls and no strikes. Wall can't find the zone.
Yeah, that was the problem in the top of the 5th. Just a little bit of a lack of command, but was able to work around it. Don't want to walk Ruddle.
3-0, and it's a called strike. And Ruddle behind the 3-1. Now the count's full. The pitch. This one, Ruddle stays alive and fouls it back. The count's still full. Ruddle trying to reach for the first time tonight. The 3-2. Outside ball 4, he'll do just that. And the big train have a leadoff base runner.
That's a guy with a lot of speed. Expect a stolen base in short order.
It's either that or maybe they could potentially try to play some small ball here with John Long. Good speed from John. He tried to lay down a bunt earlier in the game. The pitch to Long, a breaking ball in there for a strike. John Long behind 0-1. Big hole on the right side. 0-1. Outside to even up the count.
Base hit here. If the bottom of the order can create for the top, it is going to be a big inning for the big train.
Long shows bunt, pulls it back, and the breaking ball, a called strike. One ball, 2 strikes. Long didn't like that last one. Now has to protect. Runner goes. This one a fastball that misses high. The throw goes into center field. Ruddle was standing on second, so he well aware and easily able to get to third.
There's the speed, there's the stolen base, and you make one mistake, and all of a sudden a runner at third and nobody out, and the big train a chance for a little bit of insurance.
So the infield will come in. John Long trying to pick up an RBI. And instead he will strike out looking for the 3rd time in this game. So now Clay Wargo.
The infield about halfway for the Senators, trying to prevent another run.
Breaking ball to Wargo misses. Interesting because Ward out at second is much further in than Griffith is at short.
And you wonder if that has to do with their arm strength, and you imagine
in the dirt. Now 2 balls and no strikes.
mean, the idea is halfway is you have to be able to make the play at the plate, and if Griffith has the arm strength to play a little further back, and it just benefits him.
2-0. Wargo swings, fouls this one back.
The way Ruddle is creeping down the third base line, it is going to be a tough play, however, on a ground ball, unless it's hit sharply, because there's so much speed at third.
Wargo on the ground into left field. It's a base hit, and the Big Train catcher will pick up an RBI, and it's a 5-2 game.
And that's the cost of playing your infield halfway. Less range, and that one right past Griffith and into left field, and the Big Train pick up a much-needed insurance run.
So now we're back to the top of the order, Dixon Williams. Nice night for him after the strikeout. He's been on base twice. He's stolen a base. He's scored 2 runs. And Williams comes up with nothing on that one. A ball and a strike. One runner off and going with a bit of a delayed steal, but that ball gets away. Wargo into scoring position at second. So 2-1 on Dixon Williams. Now an RBI chance for the Big Train leadoff hitter. He's got 15 RBIs on this season, 19 for 57. Cold strike. Now at 2-2. Going back to that fastball on the corner. And Wall will try to get a strikeout.
A big strikeout situation now that the double play opportunity a bit erased.
2-2. This one well outside. Holiday behind the plate. Showing off the range, getting out there. And the count's full. 3-2, and Lucas Phelps, who's having a great night waiting on deck. Williams in the air out toward left field. This ball will stay up and be caught in left by McKinley, who is a new defensive left fielder replacing McGonigal. Wargo goes back to second.
Yeah, nice swing of the bat, but McKinley just right there in the gap and able to make the play.
So here's Lucas Phelps, 2 for 3 night, 2 doubles, 2 RBIs. Got a chance to pick up a third with Wargo out there at second. This one roped foul. It looks like might have hit off of one of the Senators players, either that or hit hard off that back wall. Phelps already jumping on that first pitch fastball. And now we'll take something off with this pitch. And Wall head 0-2. Phelps trying to come through, but has to protect. 0-2. The pitch. And it's a swing and a miss. Tried to check his swing momentum. Carried it around. And the inning will end, but the Big Train do add a run. Clay Wargo picking up an RBI, driving in Zeb Ruddle. To the bottom of the 6th we go, with the Big Train now extending their lead 5-2. Luke Gaffney to lead this inning off, with Kevin Scully going back out to the mound. Of course, Scully put together a fantastic 5th inning with 2 strikeouts. Really showed the curveball off, and he starts Gaffney with a curveball in at the knees, 0-1. Sun has completely gone away. Night is upon us here in Waldorf, Maryland. The first and only trip down here to Regency Furniture Stadium. This one is fouled off, and the home plate umpire got a piece of him, and he will walk it off.
Never a good feeling.
4, 5, and 6 due up here in the inning. Of course, like we said earlier, Regency Furniture Stadium, the home of the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs of the Atlantic League Independent Baseball. They are a partner with Major League Baseball. So a really nice stadium here, a lot of really cool features. Definitely the most impressive one, obviously, here in the Cal Ripken League for, again, obvious reasons that were already just stated. And our first TV road broadcast of the season. Don't often get an opportunity to do this, but with this stadium and with circumstances, we're able to do it here. There's a slider that misses too far outside, a ball and 2 strikes. One ball and 2 strikes. The pitch, and a fastball fouled back.
Yeah, the fastball sets up the curveball so well. And Scully has had good command of both so far tonight.
One, 2. This one a breaking ball. Check swing, didn't go around. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Tough take, and a good take on a good pitch.
Right-hander is throwing in the bullpen for the Senators. We don't have a view for the Big Train, but Brandon Cassidy is down there, so somebody is certainly in the pen with Cassidy. There's a big swing and a miss here. Scully gets the strikeout, and it's out number 1. Is somebody in the bullpen with Cassidy kind of playing guard, I guess you could say, protecting the bullpen from any foul balls in the area?
You got to be careful. Catcher unable to look, unless obviously Nick DeLisi has eyes in the back of his head, which Maybe.
So here's Ilgen Fritz. He takes the first pitch breaking ball in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. So a breaking ball low. 1 ball and 1 strike. This one will miss. A fastball outside. 2 balls and a strike. Two and 1 the count. Scully delivers a fastball in there for a strike. 2-2. And Scully now looking for his 4th strikeout in his first 5 hitters. Two. Fastball on the corner, called 3rd strike. And Scully this time gets a strikeout with a fastball. And it's out number 2.
Yeah, it's all clicking for Scully. And this bottom of the 6th, he is cruising. Wouldn't be surprised to see him go a 3rd inning.
The Big Train offense continuing to put up runs. There's a good chance that could happen. Stetko, the 3rd baseman, takes a fastball a little low, 1-0. Stetko has walked and has lined out to left field. Jacob Orr making that running grab out there and left in the 4th. Late on a fastball here. 1 ball and 1 strike. One in there for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2 breaking ball. This one fouled off.
Yeah, good pitch. Scully has hitters right where he wants them. Could go back to a high fastball. Could go to the curveball again. Stetko not exactly balanced right now with 2-pitch mix from the right-hander.
1-2. This one up the middle and into center field. Stetko turns on a fastball and drives it back where it came from for a 2-out single.
Yeah, that pitch a little bit too much over the plate, and Stetko does a nice job to turn it around. Slightly jammed, but gets enough of it to put it into center field. And 2-out opportunity for the Senators, who haven't had a base runner in a while.
That is their first base runner since the 4th, when Cole McGonigal drew a walk. This one from Scully, a fastball in there for a strike. This one chop foul. Now no balls and 2 strikes.
Back-to-back fastballs, likely the curveball coming. It's just been excellent work by Scully so far. Love to get through this 6th inning without any damage.
Trying to send it to the 7th. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch. Foul tipped into the mid. Scully with a strikeout. He strikes out the side despite the base hit being in there, and he's got 5 strikeouts in 2 innings. Looking solid out of the bullpen. We'll go to the 7th here from Waldorf, Maryland. The Big Train still clinging to a 3-run lead. Well, new pitcher will be Jacob Whiteman, the Townsend University product, to take over for his 5th appearance of the season. And the second time he will face the Big Train, as he pitched against them back on June 17th in Bethesda. 3 1/3 innings of work, allowing 3 earned runs, 2 hits, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Tough part of the order here, 3, 4, and 5, with Jeffrey Hurd leading it off. And he swings and pops this one up. For the third, the catch will be made for out number 1. Ty Stetko making the play. It's the 3rd time Jeffrey Hurd has popped out in this game. And now 6 times he's done that in the last 2 games. Carter Cunningham swings, drives this one down the left field line. This one is fair ball. Into the corner, hits off the wall, now kicks away. Cunningham hits second, takes a wide turn, but he will hold there. And it's a stand-up opposite field double for Carter Cunningham, who's got a 2-hit night. And now Jacob Orr with an RBI chance. Jacob Whiteman's best outing of the season was his first against the Giants back on June 6th, when he tossed 4 1/3 innings of 1-run ball, allowing just a hit and a walk. He also did throw an inning and a third against the Aces in a loss, as there is a pitch that will miss. Did give up 2 runs, but neither one of them were earned. That was on June 13th. 1-0. This one will miss outside. Now 2 balls and no strikes.
Whiteman, a guy who came out of high school as a two-way player from the state of Maryland, top 30 overall prospect, but loves to pitch, is what he says, and has decided that's his role in college.
And Orr, 2-0 swinging, and comes up with nothing. Trying to pick up Cunningham from second. Orr has lifted the ball to right field twice, once on a line and once a little bit down the line with a fly ball, and has also been hit by a pitch in this game. He's played good left field, though. Made a couple of nice plays out there tonight. This one in the dirt.
Now, we're a guy who has done it all in the Cal Ripken League.
Orr chops this one foul. And now a 2-strike count for Jacob, who's got to protect. Count 3-2.
But likely his first time down here to Regency Furniture Stadium, with this being the first official year in the league for the Senators. Even though he's played 3 seasons in the Cal Ripken League.
Takes something off on the ground out towards short. Fielded and the play made. Griffith out there at shortstop for out number 2. And now Jack Guerrero. Guerrero takes a breaking ball in there for a strike.
Guy who's hit a ball hard today.
That one will miss. No balls and 2 strikes. This one a close pitch. Now Guerrero got to protect. But outside, 1-2 the count. Swing and a miss. Guerrero, a foul tip into the mitt on a breaking ball that he was well out in front of, and he goes down swinging. So we'll go to the bottom of the 7th inning stretch time here from Waldorf. The Big Train still up 5-2. Bottom of the 7th, Kevin Scully back out to the mound. An opportunity for another good inning of work, 5 strikeouts, and we are joined by a very special guest.
Very special.
Our GM, Michael Michaud.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Big Train fans. Hello, Adam. Hello, Eli.
Hello.
Thanks for letting me come on and crash your broadcast.
Oh, we
Vince
appreciate
Vaughn style.
it. I think it's the 5th time now this year.
Yeah, I think that's about right.
We got to check off all the stadiums. You have to do it in every one.
That's true. I do have to do it in every one. I definitely did it in Silver Spring.
You did it in Bethesda.
I did it in Bethesda. I've done it here.
That's when a fastball spiked in the dirt.
I didn't do it in Alexandria, and we haven't played in Gaithersburg. I did do it at the – no, I didn't do it at the Crop Dusters, so we have a couple more to check off.
So we only have, what, 4? 3?
3.
3
to go.
2 balls and no strikes. And a breaking ball gets away. 3 balls and no strikes.
Can I say, I don't know if you guys have mentioned this, but watching this game in a, I think, roughly 4,200 seat stadium with about 80 people here, not including players, maybe less, it feels very COVID-y, like the COVID year.
We didn't say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Strike.
I'm glad you made the call there. You can be the umpire, too.
I saw it.
Yes.
Yeah, I could do everything.
Yes.
That's what the GM role requires.
Also on the air, we got 9 outs away from Sal Colangelo's 500th win
That's
in
right.
the regular
That's
season.
Right. 500th regular season win.
Could witness some history. There's a swing and a miss, and the count goes full.
Pretty impressive. He in the summer of 2020, when the Maryland did not allow baseball, Sal did manage a team in Virginia, but those wins, I think we're just counting Big Train regular season wins.
3-2. This one is ball 4 to McKinley, the new left fielder, and he will trot down to first.
Eli, you're doing color tonight. I'd say this has been an interesting Big Train performance, but strong over the middle innings when they were down early and they came back. And I think I heard Adam say it's a game of singles and doubles, which is exactly what it's been. But I think it's been a good comeback and switching up their approach against the Senators starter.
Yeah, it feels like a game they've controlled for the most part. Not really in a whole lot of trouble, even giving up the 2 runs early. You knew the offense would come to life eventually.
Runner goes. Breaking ball bounces in the dirt. The throw from Wargo down to second, not in time.
Yeah, that's a good point. They were down 2-0, but it's not like Erdelschweiger was being beat around. He made a few mistakes. There was an error. It looked like Big Train was kind of sleepwalking through the first couple innings, and that's how you find yourself down 2-0.
Sam Griffith, the hitter right now, 1-0 the count. Corners come in. And that one goes to the backstop. Scully has lost all command here in this inning. That's the 3rd or 4th time that's happened already, but the first time it'll go as a wild pitch.
Unless you're a Big Train assistant GM Patrick Chapman, and then every ball that gets by the catcher is a pass ball.
Is that what he rules?
That is what he thinks.
No.
He's like, if you're the catcher, you're supposed to stop it. And as a former catcher, I'm like, okay, buddy, you get back there.
Patrick
you have a go.
There's only so much you can do.
He has a lot of great opinions that I've learned.
Oh, get him started on the college.
Yes.
The college
no.
He's got a lot. If
you come to the ballpark at Shirley Povich Field, ask for Patrick Chapman.
For Patrick Chapman, and just do like a
bring
random hot
anything.
take.
Yes.
It is like a random hot take.
Because they're all, I'm not going to bring some of them up because they're ridiculous, but they're all just so random.
Yes. The guys on the drive today, he was like, on the drive down, it was Patrick, me, and then 3 of our interns, Aaron, who's an operations intern but wanted to come to the game, and Julianne and Catherine. And Patrick was like, what we haven't talked about? We haven't talked about the attempted coup in Russia. And I was like, well, let's serve it up. Let's have a go. Yeah, Prigozhin. Let's have a chat about the guy. He seems like an interesting fellow.
Only Patrick Chapman, who's been with the Big Train for 8 years.
Yeah, institution.
In the dirt, ball spiked before home plate.
He spiked about, I feel like 5 of those now in the last 2 at-bats.
Now, we did talk about this earlier. So it counts 3-0. In the most interesting stadium we've been in a positive way.
Yeah, no.
Because
it's beautiful.
It's a great stadium. But I have to ask, we're going to list off some of the great features of this ballpark. want to see which one's your favorite.
Okay.
Another one in the dirt, ball 4.
Yeah, because before the game, us interns who arrived had a chance. We basically took a lap around the whole stadium. But yeah, serve it up. Let's see what you
So
got.
we got Sal Colangelo is going to make a change. Perfect timing.
Yeah, this is
Yes,
perfect timing. Yeah. We're just going to run right through the commercial
Yes,
break,
that's
too.
fine. So we have the pool with bumper boats in left center
Yeah,
field.
yeah,
We have the basketball courts as well.
yep.
We have the grass berm and right, which is a pretty common one for a lot of
Yeah,
minor league fields.
we were out there. Our writer, Jack Guerrero, you took a lap around the stadium, right? I mean, they have benches out there in right center. It's actually kind of nice. Like, I'd sit out there and watch a game for a little while.
Okay, well, we also have the playground.
Yep. They're
As
very
well.
their own kids fun
their
zone,
own kids'
which
fun
is not
zone.
nearly as good as the Big Train kids fun zone, and it's bouncy.
We have
castle.
cornhole. They have a whole playground.
Yeah. Well, no, no.
Don't we have cornhole though?
We have cornhole, but
Yeah, that's a good thing.
I know, but you like compared that to a whole playground.
just-
Okay.
yeah,
we
I
have
whole
no.
playground.
Hold on. Let me pull out the spiel here. This is wrong. We have cornhole and spike ball and 2 bouncy castles. So I won't have you malign it just because we don't have plastic playground like they do, which is very nice, by the way.
Yeah, but it does say you have to pay. Is it
$8.
$8 to
Yeah,
get
but
in?
$8
for-
Oh my
the whole
goodness.
game, and you get unlimited bumper. What do they call the
Bumper
Krabby
boats?
Cove bumper boats out there in left center field?
I might be willing to do that for the bumper boats.
Listen, I love Povich
I'm-
Field, but we don't have a pool or
Right.
multiple pools.
I'm thinking we do post game out there. I wish we packed for a pool because we could do
Well,
it in the pool.
I'm not
That's
sure
a
that
missed
pool is for
opportunity.
swimming.
No, it is for swimming. The
Is
guy,
it really?
the grounds
We
crew
will
was
make
like,
it for swimming.
the
But-
grounds crew guy when we were
So
walking
what, are
around
the
was like, "Oh, you
boats-
want to go in the pool?"
Are the boats going to run into the kids in the pool?
Yeah, there's 2 pools actually.
Oh,
There's
okay.
like a swimming pool, and then there's the bumper boats pool. Yeah,
an
it's a very
interesting design.
sophisticated operation.
The Blue Crabs have it down. to a
Yeah, they
T.
do. So I was talking with Patrick and Jack. So this is the league that the Blue Crabs play in. They used to be an affiliate, and now they're in the independent league. And this is the league. It's an MLB affiliate
Yes,
league where they
the
do a
Atlantic
lot.
League.
Yeah, where they do a lot of like, they try out the rules changes. So, like 1 pickoff throw or whatever. Jack was saying they do 1 here. I think you were saying, Jack. Yeah. So like only 1 pickoff throw is allowed here. You can steal first base like you can with the Savannah Bananas. Anyway, we'll get back to that. I'll let you introduce the new Big Train pitcher.
Yes, Skylar Hutto, the Alabama product, will take over. Runners at the corners, nobody out. Kevin Scully out of the game, worked into some trouble with back-to-back walks. He completely lost command of both those pitches. He looked great those first 2 innings, 5 strikeouts, especially that curveball, but couldn't get anything
Yeah,
over the plate.
inning number 3, not exactly. You mentioned it. The command not there, but still the Big Train with the lead.
This one driven out toward right center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Hurd over to get it.
Ooh.
A late decision to go to third. Kind of hesitation, but it's an opposite field RBI single for Caden Carl. That's a 5-3 game.
That's a nice piece of hitting.
It's a beautiful piece of hitting. That's what a guy's coming in. The last guy was wild, walked a few people. You're coming in to throw strikes. And if you're a hitter, you're like, you know what? I'm just going to bank that he's going to throw a fastball, and I'm not going to try and do too much with it, and just right out to right center.
Fastball the outside part. Just take it.
Hit it where it's pitched.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like Sal is having a conversation with the home plate umpire.
I have to assume it's something with substitutions because
They've got their
the
little sheets out.
Southern Maryland Senators, I don't know if you've noticed, but pretty much every game put everybody in, almost like it's
Yeah.
spring training. So
Yeah,
there's
they're always
got to be
throwing,
some
yeah.
confusion at some point in time.
Well, we don't know what it is, so
No.
you all at home, you can tweet us your best guesses at Go Big Train.
Here's Patrick Ward, the new second baseman who replaced Vondelin defensively a few innings ago.
Wonder we'll get a shout out on the broadcast tomorrow.
Ooh, that's
Yeah,
good.
that's right.
That's right.
Yeah, the winner. Yeah, that's right. If you
Who's
with
got
the
the
best
best-
answer, this is like a caption this, but with Sal meeting with the. There it is, home plate umpire.
Good fastball in there for a strike. Anyway, back to our features because we do have a couple more.
Okay, yeah, serve it
Got
up.
the Legends Club,
Yeah,
which I think there's a bar in there maybe. There's a stolen base attempt, and it's successful as no throw made by Wargo, and now a base hit. This game could be tied.
yeah, we've gotten tight. Now the infield's coming in. The Legends Club is very cool. We couldn't go in. It was locked, but we looked in, and it was very nice.
Not legendary enough.
Well, we weren't, apparently.
And then the last little feature is this kind of, I don't even know how to describe it, out in left field at the top of that wall. There's
Party
a swing and
deck.
miss. The party deck, that's what it is.
Yeah. Party deck's cool. We've been thinking over the last couple of years, Bruce Adams has been thinking of ways to put something like that in place at Povich. So that's a good.
This one hit in the air, shallow center field. Ruddle coming in. He does have a good arm. Runner's going to tag. Now he heads back. Really good throw home from Ruddle.
Wow. I don't know about you guys. I would have sent him.
I'm not sure that he left on time. It looked like he was.
Oh, you mean maybe he left and he was like, I left early. Just kind of stopped?
It was close, but
Because those first 6 steps, he was coming hard. And now
Yes.
that doesn't mean anything. That could just be a deke, a bluff. But frankly, I'm of the opinion that those throws are hard. I used to play center field. It's hard to make a good throw. So I say make him make a perfect throw.
Does Patrick rule any bad throw in center also a pass ball?
Yeah. Ooh. That was a filthy breaking ball from Hutto there.
This is Wingenroth, who also came in defensively and replaced, or not defensively, came in to replace Mikey Guy, but the substitution was made after Guy's last at-bat a few innings ago. And goes right back to it. Now 0-2.
Listen, I was never that great at hitting, but maybe you should look for something else up there, big fella.
That's going to be our new segment. Michael Michaud tips.
Yeah, that's right.
For
I'm in
hitters
for
way
that.
better than him.
I mean, yeah, for guys who are way better than I ever was.
The fastball upstairs, a ball and 2 strikes.
I was about at their level when I played wiffle ball with my brother. That I hammered, but put me in a real game, and I was, you know what the problem is? I was a thinker. Too much thinking.
That's a problem.
It is.
And he goes
there it
back
is.
to it. There's the breaking ball. It's a strikeout, and Hutto now an out away from getting out of it.
Listen, Eli, we just watched Kevin Scully get himself into trouble by not being able to find the plate, and Hutto has come in and just thrown strikes, just come right at guys.
And that's what you need
Yeah.
in this spot.
When you have a lead where it's the 7th inning, like make them earn it. Make them hit it. Getting hits is hard.
And big train pitchers have such good stuff.
Oh, there it is.
And it's Colvin who, another defensive change for Luke Gaffney, will get an opportunity here. These guys, their first at-bats of the game, and there's the breaking ball now moving to the inside corner.
I feel like Phil Rizzuto here, just making weird
Making
noises.
noises.
Watching. Oh!
Sound like a werewolf.
Sometimes I do that too. I'll just go,
Werewolf,
ooh!
werewolf bar mitzvah. Spooky, scary.
0-2 pitch. Breaking ball too
That's
far
for any of our
outside.
30 Rock fans out there. I don't know if anyone's a 30 Rock fan, but
Can find somebody.
Jack, you a 30 Rock fan? Yeah, you werewolf bar mitzvah. You know what I'm talking about. You guys should watch it. It's a good show. That's to out all you fans out there. Watch it.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. The pitch,
Got
breaking
him.
ball, called third strike at the knees, and Hutto in and out of trouble.
Sal Colangelo, first one out of the dugout to.
Yeah, already talking to him.
Yeah, I don't know what. At first, it looked like he was scolding him. And
Yes.
then
Well, run just come in, making it a little bit more interesting, but Hutto looked fantastic. We'll go to the 8th. It's a 5-3 lead for the Big Train. We've reached the 8th inning. The big train with the bottom half of the order due up. Ruddle to lead it off. I think we have a new pitcher as well. It looks like Nate Beal, number 30, out on the mound.
UPenn from Reisterstown, Maryland, which I figure is close to here.
You're asking two of the wrong people.
Yeah, that's kind of a rhetorical question.
Okay.
I would imagine you're right, though.
I don't have a good. Yeah, I don't have a. I don't know. I've never been to this part of Maryland.
Yes, this is Beal out on the mound. 2 balls and no strikes now to Ruddle. It's a first for all of us.
Wow, what a world! I'm glad I came. It was a long, traffic-laden drive, but, you know, like I said, we came with the interns. We had a good time. We talked about the attempted Russian coup. We covered all the bases. We listened to the Hamilton soundtrack.
There you go.
This one inside 3-1. We got down here earlier, as we always do. We were
Yeah.
supposed to have a nice production meeting with Harrison Myers, but he couldn't make the trip last second.
Feel
so
better, Harrison.
Feel better, yes.
We'll
but
see you tomorrow for our marathon.
we got here 3:40, 3:45, had everything ready to go by an hour later. This
Hey,
one
what
fouled
was
out of play.
what was going on the field beforehand? It was some like youth. Was it a game
yes,
or a practice?
So from what I heard, for what it was a showcase, I think.
Oh,
for
a
Team
showcase.
USA
Okay.
It was a tryout
Yes,
for
tryout,
Team
excuse me.
USA,
Okay.
and they had been doing it all day
Wow.
for the Mid-Atlantic group, and
Sure.
then from there they go play a bunch of other teams, and then some of the guys from the Mid-Atlantic team could get picked to be on the Team
national
USA.
Yeah, Team
yeah.
USA. Yeah, but this is for like you. They look kind of young.
It was
Yeah, they were-
U14. is
U14.
Yes.
the last
Yes.
group, but they started with U8 early in the
Oh
morning.
wow, full day out
All
here.
day.
No wonder it took them time to get the field ready.
And then, of course, there's the college Team
Mhm.
USA, which is in North Carolina.
Fouled off into the big train dugout.
Call Dr. Valentine.
Peter's standing down there too. I wonder if he got a picture of that. He's right behind the dugout.
Oh yeah, he is. Peter, he's everywhere.
It's funny watching him walk around, like lugging it over his shoulder,
yeah.
like he's like going to
Our
battle.
photographer Peter. go to smugmug.bigtrain.com and see all of his awesome work. He's taking amazing pictures here. And it's a walk to lead off the inning for Zeb Ruddle. I'll tell you one thing you don't want to do when you're down 5-3 in the 8th inning is walk the leadoff guy. Ooh, we've got a pinch hitter.
Yes.
Might be the smartest thing I've heard all night.
Dean Twygo's going to pinch hit, who is pinch hitting for John Long. Long struck out 3 times today, all looking, so get a fresh hitter up there with Long struggling tonight.
It's the Big Train's biggest soccer fan.
Yeah, that's right. Real Madrid fan, right?
And AC Milan.
And AC Milan. Interesting combo.
Kid from California. One of the nicest people on
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
He's
Big Train.
He said he was super into Star Wars. He wasn't into Harry Potter when we did that, but Star Wars night
Ooh.
he's ready for.
This one down the line, that's a foul ball. So no balls and a strike. Ruddle will have to go back.
It's nice. The one feature of this place is we're in a like
Suite.
box right
We're in
now,
a
suite
suite,
right
yes.
now. That's where we're broadcasting from, and it's quite comfortable.
I'd
It
watch
is.
a game from up here.
Yeah, I'd completely watch a game. The sight lines in this place are great. We walked around, and the way they designed. So actually, here's something. The guy who designed this stadium, Peter Kirk, was the inspiration for a lot of what we did at Povich Field. So
Really?
he's kind of a mentor for Bruce Adams, who created the Big Train 20. This is the 24th season, so almost our 25th anniversary, and especially like the seating at Povich, like the grandstands, we didn't have that at the beginning.
Twygo ropes this one out toward
Oh.
right center field. Long run and a great leaping catch. Ruddle's got to go back. He will get there because of how far of a throw that is. But what a great play in center field.
Dean Twygo just got robbed.
I mean, hey, it's a good example of why baseball is so hard. He did everything right, blasted the ball into right center, and the center fielder got an excellent jump and made a great catch over his head.
Yeah, it's Caden Carl, who did not start the game in center, was a defensive replacement.
Scott
so.
Middleton, savvy move down there in the Senators' dugout. Anyway, I will continue my story about the relationship.
Wargo to right. This is a flare, and it's
That's
going to
down.
fall in for a base hit. Ruddle will go to third, And we'll get in standing up. Wargo's got 2 hits. This one to the opposite field, and the big train making some noise now.
Before I continue that story, I'll say this, Eli and Adam, I don't know if you've noticed, but after a lot of our home games, the director of player development, Rahul Nathan from Penn State, goes to the cage and works with guys doing a lot of BP after games. And the two players who most often do that are Zeb Ruddle and Clay Wargo. Now, Ruddle walked, obviously, but Clay obviously has had 2 hits tonight. So, all that hard work's paying off. I respect it.
Yeah,
and now Sal wants to talk to Clay.
Wargo, one of those guys who comes back for a
second season.
Summer.
Yeah, go to the website. Check out
check
Julianne
it,
Garnett's story about our returnees. There she is. Raise the roof. That's how we taught you.
We tried to get her on the air. She didn't want to do it today.
Well, not today.
Not today. She'll be there for Star Wars.
No, but
Day.
she wrote an excellent story on our 4 returnees: Wargo, Schiavone, Clark, and Marcinko. Anyway, so what I was saying is apparently at the beginning, Povich Field did not have the grandstand seating like we do now, and
Yes.
Peter Kirk told Bruce, he said, we had bleachers, and he said, the only people that are going to come out again to watch a game when sitting on bleachers are parents, scouts, and girlfriends. So if you don't get seats, you're not going to get people to come out, and he was right. So he's one of the mentors who kind of shaped how we think of Povich Field, and he built this ballpark, yeah.
First one to Dixon Williams, back to the top of the order, misses for a ball. Do you know how long this ballpark's been here for?
I do not. That is a good our statistician, Jack McGuire, in the back here. /writer /tweeter.
Is he doing a live Twitter? Like
he's
Twitter
live
right
tweeting
now?
this game, yeah.
First game was in 2008.
Oh, really? That's
swing and a miss, 2-1. It's earlier than I thought, but
you
that's
mean
also
later than you thought.
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant. Excuse me, later than I thought, but
it was built in 2007.
There you go.
Okay.
According to Kleinman Stats and Info.
I thought you were going to say Wikipedia.
KSI.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. KSI, I sign up for that.
This one chopped foul towards the big train dugout.
All the good stats you need.
You competing with Elias.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like Elias and then like right below Elias is you.
I'm a tier below.
Right. I mean, it's hard. Elias
the second
is number
tier
one.
is
yeah, it's still good.
Is
still good.
Where we want to be.
This one, a called third strike. Dixon Williams can't believe it.
You're like the you're like the Alpine of the F1 world. Like it's pretty solid, but you're not in the top tier.
Yeah, above expectations.
But with what you have, you do well.
Yeah,
you know.
I just don't have the resources that Elias has.
Right, or Honda,
or
Red Bull, whatever.
Red Bull, Mercedes.
Yeah.
So here's Lucas Phelps.
Big night for Lucas.
Yeah, a couple of big doubles. The first one going off that big wall out
Yeah,
there.
so is it just me, or maybe I was fooled by the outfielder, but I thought that was a routine fly out to maybe the edge of the track, and then
So
it just
did I.
kept going.
Yes, and that wall, distance-wise, is only 310 feet.
Right.
So.
But it's high.
Right. So.
But still, I thought when he hit that and watching the outfielder, I was like, oh, well, he just missed that.
Runner goes, delayed steal, and Clay Wargo will get there.
Can Lucas Phelps, this would be a dagger right here in the top of the 8th if he could get a base hit here.
Feels like the left fielder misplayed it too, because the way the ball ricocheted off the wall cost him a run in the process.
That's right. So the way that I saw it as I was watching that play was he clearly thought he had it lined up and then kind of lost track of where he was, and he hit the track and he was like, oh crap. And what he should have done is immediately retreated to play it off the wall, but I think he still thought he had a chance.
1-2, Phelps out to right field. This is going to stay up and be caught, and the inning will end. The big train strand 2. They still have a lead, though, going to the bottom of the 8th, clinging to that 2-run lead, up 5-3. Defensive changes all around for the Big Train. Starting at short, Connor Rasmussen will come into the game and play there defensively with the shortstop.
Looks like he's in
Lucas
for
Phelps.
Ruddle.
Yes.
Yeah.
He'll move to second. The second baseman, Dixon Williams, goes to first, and the first baseman, Carter Cunningham, will go to center field. First pitch, Skylar Hutto in there for a strike.
Even when he misses on that slider, it still finds the corners of the zone.
I mean, it also freezes them, and then you can do that with it. I'm like, oh, that's a fastball. Oh, it's not a fastball. This is horrible, horrible.
No balls, 2 strikes. There's the slider, and it misses. I will say, pretty consistently, we've seen a lot of these relievers for the Big Train this year. Just 2 pitch mixes, but command both of them extremely well. Hutto, Martzoff, there's a strikeout. Davion Hickson, yeah.
He's I feel like he's the one where it's most, you're just like, you got a 50% chance if you're guessing. I mean, not quite because of tendencies and count and all that stuff, but generally it's still, that's when you know you got good stuff, when it's like you have 2 choices and then you still can't make solid contact off either.
Elgin Fritz struck out. Now here's Stetko.
They
one in there for a strike.
are not seeing that because
No.
they're either buckling and taking it or swinging through it as it breaks out of the zone.
Look at that. Fully moonwalked out of the box.
Shimon.
Skylar Hutto. This one bounces in the dirt.
You weren't expecting a Michael
No,
Jackson
I wasn't.
Impression on the broadcast tonight. Well, I'm here.
Got Michael Misha.
Do we have a Michael Jackson night coming up at the ballpark? This one
Uh,
out of play. 'Cause
no.
We can have you dress up for the kids and dance around.
So
and
yeah,
sing.
that connection is. I don't know if you watched the HBO documentary, but it might not be great
I
to have a
get it,
Michael
I get
Jackson
it.
night. As much as I love Michael Jackson, separate art from the artist.
This one well inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That's what happens when you don't stay on top of your breaking ball and you drop your elbow down a little bit and get under it, and it just doesn't have that bite, and it just stays out right where you left it off the inside of the plate instead of coming down hard, finishing with it.
Wind up. Hutto delivers.
Well, that looked the
This
same
one-
as the other ones.
Yes. So now the count is full.
I wish we could see the TrackMan on that and see where all those were in the strike zone.
3-2.
Got him.
And there it is. Sticking with the slider. This one finds the zone. But you could go into the press box, though, and ask them.
I
Where
could,
did that
yeah.
last pitch mix?
I could. What we became good friends with the
Yes.
Senators. The Senators crew actually is great. This is their first year in the league. They were an exhibition. They kind of played a bunch of exhibitions last year. They're an expansion team. And well, let Skylar pitch here. But they are doing a lot of cool things. They have a very strong youth program. It's kind of like a feeder thing. So they're building up. They're building from the ground up, and I think they're doing a really good job.
Swing and a miss here. Oh, until we met their GM earlier. I think his name was John.
Yeah.
Yes.
John, yeah.
Very nice. Came in and helped us with everything. Made sure we were okay. 0-2. Swan. Down and in.
They were very complimentary of us. For our first exhibition game of the year against them on June 2nd, they had a bunch of their staff at Povich kind of walking around and being like, this is how it's supposed to look.
Ooh.
Yeah, we are a strong model.
This one on the ground, slowly to short. Rasmussen waits for it, though. The throw to first in time. And Skylar Hutto retires the side in order, picks up a couple of strikeouts. We'll go to the 9th here in Waldorf. The Big Train up 5-3. 3, 4, 5 due up here in the ninth. The Big Train still up by 2, but would love a little bit of insurance. Eli Kleinman, our GM, Michael Michaud. I'm Adam Glover, welcoming you back. Train now 3 outs away from a win, and 3 outs away from number 500 for Sal Colangelo.
Pretty impressive. It's a lot of wins, especially when you consider he didn't have a season 2020. Right. So,
and it's only been what? Not even 20 years, and you only play 40-game seasons.
Yep. Excellent success. Durable success.
Yes, consistency every year.
Consistency, that's right. 10 league championships. Well, I don't think all of them were with him, but as the team.
Yes. 2-1 pitch upstairs, 3 balls and a strike.
I'd love to see Jeffrey Hurt. Now, he did get a base hit up the middle in this game. Correct, right?
Yes, he got an RBI
But he
single.
also did pop up, and he's been doing that on the infield a lot. So I'd love...
Yeah, Jeffrey Hurd will have to come back. There's been a few of those tonight where the Big Train have started to walk down to first.
Take an early walk.
Count full on Hurd. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Swings and lifts this one out toward shallow left, and it's the shortstop Griffith going out, making the grab.
I think Jeffrey is probably a little frustrated.
Yes, that's...
There's only one...
There goes another pop out.
There's only one thing worse than popping up on the infield as a hitter. When making contact, of course, is grounding out to the pitcher.
Right.
That's worse. That's so deflating. Oh, it's terrible.
Because then you do that slow jog.
Well, you still got to run it out, you know, but you don't really want to because you're like, I'm going to be out. What's the point of this?
Most of them just, like, flip the bat,
yeah.
you know.
And then just kind of stare at the ground and think about all your life choices and how they were wrong.
Fouled out of the stadium off the top of the roof. Carter
Souvenir
yes,
for someone in the parking lot.
Hopefully us when we go out there.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Hunt it down. Oh, my gosh. Another ball coming in from the bullpen.
Yes, we talked about the bullpens earlier. They're down the left field line.
They're
and the first
like
base,
5 feet
right
away
line.
from being in play.
Yes, and there's just no space. And what's interesting is you have all this room, grass berm, but you put a grass berm instead. You go with a pool and a bumper. What is it? Bumper boats, bull.
Bumper boats.
Pool. Yeah. Pool. As Cunningham rips this one foul.
Right into the kid zone. Death. No, there are no kids out there. I'm just kidding.
Death. No. I didn't realize.
Don't worry, everybody.
There was I didn't realize there was like a. I don't know if it's you see the cars down there, like they spin around almost kind of like a carousel. This one.
Oh my God! It's right for the bullpen.
Oh my! Here, look out! Did you see the catcher?
Seriously, almost tried to catch it. A bullpen
almost
catcher
tried to catch the ball.
I mean, if it's Savannah Bananas, it's an out, right?
I don't know if the bullpen catcher.
No,
fans can catch.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, you can just kind of see it in the left edge of our picture that all the way down there. It's very tight.
Interesting. Yes.
Good battle from Cunningham. Nope.
In the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Have either of you been to a Savannah Bananas game?
No.
Neither have I.
I'm
on a wait list, though.
Have you, Jack?
You're on a wait list.
Yes. Well,
I don't know how I feel about it. I feel
it's
like it's
I want to go
kitschy.
just to say that, I've been to one because, as somebody who loves baseball, wants to work in baseball, it'll be good to say that you've done all this
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean, that's true. And for us from like a small team, getting people out to the
Yes.
ballpark, we're not going to change the way we play baseball, obviously, but in terms of like marketing.
Little flare out to center field. This ball is going to fall. Oh, nearly
barehanded.
I know. Nearly a barehanded catch out there at second. But instead it's a bloop base hit for Carter Cunningham.
Is that Ward who tried to David Wright the ball?
Yes.
Right, Jack? Jack, were you even born when he made that catch?
Yes, he was. That was
You
like
were. It was summer
late
2005. Because it was the same. It was the same weekend where the Mets. It was Beltran and who dove face first into each other. It was the same weekend against the Padres. I remember it. I know. Quiet.
I wasn't conscious.
Meanwhile, that was the summer before I go to college, and Jack's like, I was an infant.
That's the best way to describe being too young to remember.
I wasn't conscious.
I didn't realize I had free will yet. Like,
Object permanence was a struggle for me. I was still getting to grips with peekaboo, you know?
Wow,
Don't worry, Jack. We all had to go through
yes. On the ground, slowly hit to short. Flip to second for one. No chance to turn two. And it's a fielder's choice.
that. I know that swing from Jacob Orr where you're like lining the pitch up and then it's not the pitch you thought and you can't stop it. And you're just like, oh, you reach out and just 64 hop it to the shortstop.
Did you play catcher in baseball? Did you play college ball or did you
I
ever
played
play?
a little bit of college at the University of Rochester, which is Division III.
Yes. That's still
But
impressive. though.
I appreciate that. I transferred after my freshman year. I didn't play much I didn't really play during the season just because there were all other things going on. But that's gonna
Guerrero
be tough.
chops it slowly to
Nice play.
second. The throw is dropped over there at first. Play can't be made by the first baseman Colbin.
That was a
He would've
great
been out,
play by
too.
Ward. He would have been out. That was a fantastic play by Ward. It looked for a second the pitcher was going to have that, and then Ward just charged in, fielded it on that hop, and then threw it in that one motion that you love to see. And it looked like Corbin was kind of walking off the bag before he caught it. Here's Rasmussen's first at bat.
Yes, he's in the 7th spot in the lineup for Zeb Ruddle. So it's not John Long, actually, because it was Twigo was the DH for Long. So he goes for Zeb Ruddle,
Oh.
who is done.
My bad, everyone, from 2 innings ago.
I'm pretty sure I made that mistake, too,
Well,
though.
we both messed up.
Yes, it happens. So Rasmussen, first AB of the night, and he takes a called strike at the knees.
Listen, 2-run lead, comfortable. 3-run lead, better. That's my philosophy.
Realistically, you'd like to see Rasmussen turn on one. Steady's going to chop it slowly out to short. The throw to first
play.
going to be in time. And the inning will end. The big train strand a couple of base runners. Both Orr and Guerrero left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the ninth. The big train 3 outs away from a win. Well, the big train need 3 outs, and they'll come away with a win here in Waldorf, their first in team history. Again, this is an expansion team like our GM Michael Michaud, who's no longer with us right now, having to go down to the field with the big train. Again, 3 outs away from a win. And Skylar Hutto again back out to the mound facing McKinley. But this would be their first time beating them officially here in Waldorf. 1-1. This one a slider in there for a strike. Now 1-2. Ball 2 strikes. Hutto gets the strikeout. A called third strike. McKinley didn't like it, but it's out number 1.
Yeah, that slider's still as good as it has been. And an electric pitch for Hutto tonight.
Here is Sam Griffith, one of the few guys in the lineup who has not been replaced. Called strike.
It's just been slider, slider,
Yes.
slider for Hutto.
Southern Maryland can't read that pitch like Michael said. And there it is again. This one, a big swing and a miss from Griffith, coming up with nothing. Oh, and 2 the count. The pitch. Swing and a miss. 3 sliders. And he gets a strikeout. It's out number 2, the big train, and out away from a win. Did the Crop Dusters play tonight?
They did, and believe they lost.
Ooh.
So the big train can tie for the top of the division.
This one off the end of the bat and foul, Caden Carl. The Crop Dusters would still have the tiebreaker if you go by head-to-head. They have won 2 out of the 3 games this year against the big train, but always great to pick up a win and pick up a game, even if it means you're still tied for that first spot. 0-1. This one in there for a strike. 0-2. The last strike, swing and a miss. Hutto gets him swinging, strikes out the side, and the big train win it here in Waldorf. A final score of 5-3. An all-around impressive performance for the big train. Another low-scoring game for them. And as we expected, we're starting to see this a little bit more throughout the season, Eli. You know, we saw all these blowouts early, but this time, big train, another close win as, again, 500 career regular season wins, and Sal Colangelo jumps out of the way of the Gatorade. Can't get out of the way of this one, though.
That's Jason Schiavone who gets him at the end. 500 regular season wins for Sal. And just an incredible stretch he has had at the helm of the big train since 2005.
Yeah, he has been the best in the business since becoming the head coach of this team. Look at the lines here. 5 runs, 10 hits, and an error for the big train. 3 runs, 4 hits, and 2 errors for Southern Maryland. And to think about it, though, again, this is another time that we've seen the big train win a game, but the opposing team still a little bit close despite the hits really not being there.
Yeah, the big train, though, have control. The score doesn't always indicate it, but still a really dominant win that the big train really had control after the 3rd inning.
Well, Erdelschweiger again got the start, allowed 2 runs through those first 2 innings, and then 1 run allowed between him and the bullpen for the rest of the way. Final score, Big Train 5, Southern Maryland 3. We appreciate you tuning in for the first time doing TV on the road here at Regency Furniture Stadium. From all of us here at the Bethesda Big Train and the Big Train Baseball Network. For my partner Eli Kleinman, I'm Adam Glover saying goodbye to you. And we're back tomorrow, a doubleheader at home starting at 4:30 against the DC Grays. We'll be back with TV for that one.